Welcome to Octane Mobile Gaming.
Welcome once again to the channel. I am back after a long unexpected break. Haven't been playing the game for a while. Just thought I should take some time out from the game and from making videos. And I'm back. So we are going to take a quick look at the deck that we've got for this week. And we're gonna see what we can come up with to actually make something which is good, that is a non-event deck. So first we're going to jump straight into the cards that we've got this week. I'm just going to have a look at the cards because I haven't been playing for a while, so probably a lot has changed, or maybe not a lot has changed. So let's take a look first at the ultimate form and see if the ultimate form this week is any good. So the ultimate form for this week: cleanses one debuff from each Earth commander and dispel one enemy buff. Then creates 12 Earth Power Gem 7s. It's got a 3-turn cooldown. It's got 2 passive, the first of which creates 7 Earth Power Gem 6s and heal for 3000% of your recovery. Second passive permanently increases self attack by 150% and reduces damage taken from enemy attack by 20%. Now that part is not too bad. 150% damage increase, self damage increase. It's not too bad. We've got a bigger self increase on Brothers in Banditry, which I think is a very useful utility card. This one, however, creates 12 Earth Power Gem 7s with its battle skill, and it creates 7 Earth Power Gem 6s with its passive. So all in all, this one can create a 19 Earth Power Gems, which is quite nice. So when it comes to Power Gem production, this card is quite good. It does have a self boost of 150% damage increase, which is really useful as well. It dispels panic. Panic is not too much of a bad debuff. Can be annoying, but it's not too much of a bad debuff. This ultimate form, I would say, will be a very useful utility card going forward. It's an Immortal Killer as well, which is quite nice. Immortal Killer cards are quite nice because you can get a boost from a performance unit area. Now we're going to take a look at the Master Collection card, and the Master Collection card for this week cleanses one debuff from all Earth commander and dispel one enemy buff. It also creates 7 Earth Power Gem 6s passively, which is quite good. This, alongside the ultimate form, will be quite useful in the wave fights, because between the ultimate form and the Master Collection card, you will create 14 Earth Power Gems every single turn. So that's nice for the wave fights. This one dispels armor. Armor is also an annoying debuff. Not really, it's a buff for the boss really, not a debuff. It's not really that bad, but it does waste a lot of time. So if you can dispel it, it's good to always dispel debuffs or buffs. So this one, it will dispel one buff from the boss. So it's quite useful because even if it wasn't able to dispel armor with its counter skill, it will be able to dispel armor with its battle skill, which is quite good, especially when you're going into the ultimate bosses, because the ultimate bosses, they proc their buff and debuff quite often, and quite often your dispel doesn't really work. So it's quite good that your battle skill and can actually remove the debuffs and the buff. So having the ultimate form alongside the Master Collection card, you can actually cleanse everything from your deck and remove everything from the boss. So those are two really useful cards going forward. And the next one up is your ultra rare, and your ultra rare for this week creates 12 Earth Power Gem 7s. So it creates quite a lot of Power Gems. 12 Power Gem 7s is really good. It's got the passive that permanently increases its own damage by 150% and reduces damage taken by 20%. That's not too bad either. So all in all, the three cards that I've seen so far are really good utility cards going forward. This one dispels Weaken, which is quite good, because Weaken, if you're gonna combine the Earth deck with High Performance Unit area, you will need to dispel Weaken. However, I would think it would be better to run a Earth deck without the use of High Performance Unit area, because High Performance Unit area is a dark commander card, and when you mix deck now, it tends not to work as well as before. Now this is your main hero, which creates 10 Earth gems. Let's see, that's not the main hero. I think that's a support card. So let's have a look at the support card again. So Steadfast Rock creates 10 Earth gems and reduces damage taken from enemy attack by 40% for 1 turn. So it actually does something different from healing your deck. It actually reduces the amount of damage your deck takes by 40%. Having more than one of these cards, I don't think can make your deck invulnerable. So say you actually have 3 support cards on your deck, it's not going to stack and give you 120% damage reduction. The first card will give you 40%, and I think you get around about 25% from every additional card. So, and the 25% doesn't stack, so you don't get 25 and 25, that gives you 50. You get 25 from the first one, and the second one is there's a multiplier which it's divided, so you don't really get 25%. But all in all, if you got 3, you probably end up getting probably 50% reduction when it comes to damage. So 1 is enough anyway for your deck. This one dispels Panic. Panic is not a terrible debuff. It's okay if you got a really good deck. So now let's go and take a look at the main hero. And the main hero for this week, the main hero for this week will be Blossom Fae Flower, and she dispels 1 enemy buff, and she creates 6 Earth Power Gem 4s passively, and heal for 200% of hero recovery. That's not a bad skill. Could be better, but it's not a bad skill. You do get 6 Power Gem 4s passively every single turn, which is not bad if you've got a card like, say, Brothers in Banditry, which will upgrade those 6 Power Gems to Power Gem, from Power Gem 4s to Power Gem 5s. So this is not bad, a bad card to have, really, if you're just starting out in the game, or if you haven't got any decent deck. That is not something that you could just say, oh, it's no use. It's something that you could consider to put on a deck and perform quite well in the league that I am in. So this week, because I haven't played for a while, I'm actually in the Paladin League, which I'm actually enjoying. I'm actually enjoying being in the Paladin League. So currently I'm 12th place in the Paladin League, and it's not a bad league to be in, really. I'm enjoying myself. It's more enjoyable being in the Paladin League than being in, say, the Legend League or the Emperor League. Those leagues are very stressful. Now, this week's reward is a Water Dragoon that creates 5 Water Power Gem 6s now and at the start of the next 2 turns. It's got a 3-turn cooldown, and it's got 1 passive. It gives a 20% damage buff to the first hero each turn to activate their battle skill. So that's not too bad, especially when you consider that you mostly use Dragoon in GVG. It's not too much of a bad Dragoon to have. Plus, these Dragoons can be specialized as well, and I'm not too sure what it's going to be able to be specialized into. Probably you'll find that it's specialized into something that can be pretty useful going forward. Now, I created one deck, but there is 2 variations to this deck. I haven't got the ultimate form because I haven't got a lot of gems, so only went up to tier 2 of the pack. But I have got Quick and Dirty, which is the ultimate form that's going to give me the killer skill. Quick and Dirty actually creates up to 10 Earth Power Gem 6s at a rate of 5, then increased by 1 per 3 stack of Intel. It generates something called Intel, which is a status. So gather Intel. Every time this hero attacks, it increases Intel by 1, and it does give you a ultimate gem as well. So Earth Ultimate Gem 2. So it's not bad. Its battle skill can be reset by, I think it can be reset by the Ultra Rare for this deck. So if you're creating 10 Earth Power Gem, I think it's Earth Power Gem 4. Let me check which. Yeah, Earth Power Gem 4s. If you're creating 10 Earth Power Gem 4s, you can reset it and create an extra 10 Earth Power Gem 4, which gives you 20 Earth Power Gems. And those won't be too bad. However, they won't be upgraded by Robin of Furwood, because Robin of Furwood alongside Brothers in Banditry only upgrades power gems at the beginning of every turn. It doesn't upgrade your power gems when you activate their battle skill, which would have been far better. So Robin of Furwood is a really good utility card. What it does, it creates 4 Earth Power Gem 6s. The next time this hero attacks, he has 300% increased damage, which makes him a really good damage dealer. And he dispels blind and dodge. He's got a 3-turn cooldown, and the passive is really nice as well, giving to the poor. At the start of each turn, it upgrades all gems 1 rank. It affects all gems below rank 5. So it doesn't only upgrades power gems, it also upgrades gems from just your garden variety gems to power gems. And it depends on how many cards you've got on board. I've got Robin of Furwood and have got Brothers in Banditry, which does the same thing passively. So if I've generated gems, I can upgrade those to power gem 2s, which helps out a bit. This one creates 6 Earth Power Gem 6s. The next time this hero attacks, they have 300% increased damage, and it dispels blind and dodge. So what it means next time this hero attacks, when you match all your gems or you swap your power gems or whatever, when you attack, it has a 300% damage increase, which makes it a really, really good damage dealer. Now I've got it to 1 pink star, it's awoken 3 times. So if you've got one at 6 pink star, awoken 5 times, that it's a really, really powerful damage dealer. It's one of the best damage dealers we've got when it comes to Earth Commander cards, and it's really useful to have. So if you're ever in a position to get Brothers in Banditry, it's one that you really want in your collection. Really, really good. Next card I've got is United Shard Bearers, and this one creates 6 Earth Power Gem 6s and increase Earth Commander's damage by 80%. So this is gonna give a damage boost to all my cards on the deck. It also creates 4 Earth Power Gem 5s at the start of each turn, and it permanently increases Earth Commander damage by 50%. So all in all, this card, when you activate its battle skill, will give you 130% damage increase to all Earth Commander. However, every turn you've got that 50% damage increase coming from this card. So this card is a nice card to have as well to add to your deck. Now, Visions of the Void, the reason why I've got this one here is because I'm actually using this deck for the wave fights, and what this one does, it creates 4 Earth Power Gem 4s plus 1 more per 200 beast killer intensity. It increases damage done by beast killers by 4%. We're not too particular about that. The event is not a beast killer event, and our main damage dealer is not a beast killer as well. But what we're looking for from this card is at the start of each turn, it destroys all non-earth gems and heals for 150% of your recovery. We're not too particular about the healing. We're particularly focusing on its ability to destroy all non-earth gems on the board, and then it increases the drop rate of earth gems. It moderately increases the drop rate of earth gems, so you're not gonna get a massive amount of earth gems on the board. Now, when you get those earth gems on the board, they're going to be upgraded by none other than Brothers in Banditry and Robin of Furwood, giving you a nice amount of gems on the board that you can then attack and take the bosses out. Now, the next combination that I've got, which I'm using, is Mariachi Maroonders, and this one was the last Earth Commander Ultimate form that we got, which is a really nice one. And this one creates 4 Earth Power Gem 6s now, and for 2 turns it increases Earth Commander damage by 80%, and whenever another Earth Commander activates an attack or damage buff, it creates an additional 4 more Earth Power Gem 5s. So that helps out to give us a bit more power gems on the board. It's got 2 nice passive. One is both of them are revised, but one is called Last Stand, and what this does, it enables you to actually increase the amount of damage boost that you've got. So the last part of the battle skill say every time you activate a revive or last stand, it increases the buff by 40% up to 160%. Now you've got 80% when you activate your battle skill. You get an extra 40% when you activate the revive, and the next 40 when you activate last stand, giving you a grand total of 160%, which is quite nice. And you've got Quick Step Juanita. Quick Step Juanita will create 4 Earth Power Gem 5s, and for the next 2 turns, whenever Earth Commander activate an attack or damage buff, it gives you an extra 4. So we've got Brothers in Banditry, which is going to increase its own damage, and that will give us 4 extra power gem from Mariachi and 4 from Juanita. And we've also got United Shard Bearers, which is going to give us a permanent increase, and it's going to give us a buff with its battle skill, so that will give us an extra 8 from those 2 cards. And then we've got Quick and Dirty, which is going to give us our killer skill, and that's the one that I'm actually using for the solo bosses, and I'm going to use it for the guild bosses. It's reasonably powerful. The biggest damage I've dealt so far from Brothers in Banditry is around about 900 trillion, which is a pretty decent damage with this combination. That's using 3 keys, obviously. And the relics that I'm running the Revered Battle Axe, and this is a 3 pink star, so it's gonna actually break 4 shields. Then I did manage to get the rare relic and the main relic from the 500 gem vault, and I craft the ultimate relic, which will break 2 as well, and I've got the main relic and the rare relic, which I'm running along with Rush, which is for United Shard Bearers. Those are gonna give me my gems and power gems, and that's where I'm gonna break all my shields. You want to break all the shields if you can, because it's not like before where the shields actually appear out. They have removed the shields. You only see the number at the side of the screen. You don't actually see the shields on the board, because we were using the shields to deal some crazy damage, which they didn't want us to be dealing. There is other combination that you can use. There are other cards that are Immortal Killer, Earth Immortal Killer. Let's have a look there. I think there's one more other card that's an Earth Immortal Killer, and that is, let's put Commander in as well, so we get rid of the Slayers. That is this one, Savage Swarm. Savage Swarm, however, its leader skill only gives 600 HP and 300 damage to Immortal Killer heroes. So that one, you can't use it as the lead card. It won't buff all your cards with its leader skill. But what this one does, it gains 15% damage resistance for each Earth Power Gem 5s or higher on the board. So this one, when this one came out, it actually could make your deck invulnerable to damage as long as you've got enough power gems on the board. And I think the Master Collection card done the same thing as well. So if you've got 2 Master Collection cards and the Ultimate Form, you could actually render your deck invulnerable as long as you've got enough power gems on the board. But that one is one that you can use as well. You've got quite a few cards. You've got the Master Collection card for Quick and Dirty, and as I said, the ultra rare from Quick and Dirty, which is this one, she actually resets the battle skill for the Master Collection card and the Ultimate Form. So it resets and charge 2 heroes with battle skills on cooldown. So what you do, you put this card after your Master Collection card and your Ultimate Form, and after you've activated those 2, you activate this one, and then you can activate those 2 again, which both would give you 10 Earth Power Gem 4s. They will give you an extra 10 Earth Power Gem 4s again, if you've got enough intel. So that would give you 40 Earth Power Gem 4s on the board, which will crush and give you higher level power gems as well. So this deck is a deck that you could use in conjunction with Savage Swarm if you've got Savage Swarm, or you could use it just as it is. It's an Immortal Killer deck, so you could use Quick and Dirty, you could use its Master Collection card, Willy Rock Crusher, and then you could use the ultra rare, and you could add say United Shard Bearers to give it that buff, and Brothers in Banditry to be your main damage dealer. So there's many ways you can go when it comes to non-Earth Commander decks if you haven't got the current Ultimate Form. But if you've got the current Ultimate Form, then you don't need to use Quick and Dirty, but you probably do need to use Brothers in Banditry alongside United Shard Bearers. Those 2 are 2 cards that you will need to add to the current deck to get massive damage output from your current deck. So haven't been around for a while, but from here on in, you will be getting at least one video from me going forward, and I'll try and get to most of the comments or questions that has been left on the channel. Haven't been attending to those because, as I said, I took some time off, so sorry about that. I will be around from here on in, so feel free to ask any questions. And this is Octane saying peace. See you in the next video. Bye for now.